Hey there, Ebby here. Welcome back to the channel. I've been shooting street photography for about 5 years now. I've shot digital and now I shoot a lot of film. But for me, street photography has been the same. All I've been thinking about is how can I get good images. In my past video, I talked about the 3 things I feel like you need in order to get a good picture. But in this video, I want to give some tips to anyone thinking about getting into street photography for the first time, or even if you've been shooting street photography for some time. I'm just offering some tips based on what I've learned from being out there almost every day for the past year. I've been shooting a lot, I've been spending a lot of time out there, and I've made a lot of mistakes. And from those mistakes, I've learned some things that I want to talk to you about in this video. So let's chat about it. The first thing being that have a mantra. And for me, my mantra is always be ready. And what I mean by that is always have your camera out, always have your camera in hand, always have your camera on a strap, always be ready. Always be reading the lights, always be checking the settings on your camera so you can know that you're getting the shot. And for me, when I'm checking my camera, checking my settings, checking the lights, I'm trying to make sure I'm getting proper exposure. Always be ready. Now, always being ready for me just means like be ready to be looking down 4, 5, 10 feet ahead, looking at what's coming towards you, looking at what's around you, making sure that you're always being ready to get the shot. Because that's why we're out there. That's why I'm out there. I don't know why you're out there, but that's why I'm out there. I'm out there to get the shot. And being ready, staying ready is super, super important if you want to get the shot. The second thing is watch the weather. Now, I've become, because the weather literally dictates everything for me. It dictates what I wear in terms of my clothes. It dictates what film I put in my camera. It dictates where I'm going to go. It dictates what route I'm going to be taking. It dictates what type of shots I'm going to get. If it's sunny outside, then I know I'm going to be shooting 400, 800, or even 100 speed film. If it's going to be really, really cloudy and really, really dark, I'm going to be pushing my HP5 1 stop, 2 stops in order to get proper exposure. Right? I'm going to be looking at different types of shots. If it's really sunny outside, it's going to be really contrasty. What type of shots am I looking for? What type of shots am I going to be getting? What ways do I need to be walking in order for the light to be hitting the subject in the right way for me to get a proper shot? The weather dictates a lot. Now, looking at the weather, checking the weather, making sure you're in the right position, making sure you're looking in the right ways, and making sure your mind is in the right mind frame in order to be looking for the type of shots that you be getting is super important. And that for me comes with checking the weather. The third thing, and this might be strange to some people, is wearing comfortable shoes. When I first got started on this whirlwind of street photography, I used to walk around in Nike Air Maxes. Now, there's nothing wrong with Air Maxes. They're actually beautiful shoes. But for me, I have wide feet. So my feet at the front, like they're wide, right? So, and the Air Maxes are pretty narrow. So when I was walking around doing 15, 20,000 steps a day, it used to hurt my foot a lot, right? And I don't have a lot of clothes. I spend all my money on film, so I only have maybe 1 or 2 pairs of shoes that I wear. So the Air Max was one, and then I have some other shoes for my weekend going out. So the Air Maxes started to hurt my foot, but since I didn't have another shoe, I'm like, you know what, I can manage it. And then at some point, I felt like I even got a fracture in my foot. I went to the doctor, I had to get x-rays done, and it turned out that I had a little sprain at the front of on my right toe on the front of my foot. And it still kind of hurts a little bit every time I'm walking. So I had to invest in some soft toe, some Dr. Scholl's insoles in my shoes. Now I have some proper walking / running shoes that when I'm walking, I can walk 15, 20,000 steps a day and not necessarily feel anything. I do still feel some pain sometimes when I'm walking. That's because I fucked up my foot. But street photography, it is what it is. I'm gonna go out there. I'm still gonna go get the shots. So get yourself some comfortable shoes, because those go a long way to making sure you can spend more time outside and get good shots. The fourth thing is find an area and work it. And what I mean by work it is work it. Like, just go to that area, go there every day. Go there as much as possible. Just get to know the area. I made a video showcasing one of the routes that I take pretty often, so check it out over here. But having a route that you know, having a route that you go to allows you to know what type of photos you can get there and if this is something you want to do. Now, there's a route that I've been going on for the past 6 months or so. Every day after work, I take this route. Every day that I have a day off, I go there and I spend a lot of time. It just allows me to know what type of shots I'm going to get. It allows me to know if the light is coming this way, I need to be coming down this way. If I'm walking this way, I need to be able to look this way in order to get a shot. Sometimes I see the same people, but most of the times I do not. Sometimes I have different film in my camera. Sometimes I have different cameras. Most of the times people are wearing different things. The light's always different. You never get the same light twice. Like here in Canada, the light is just so erratic that it's just really, really unpredictable. Most of the time I have HP5 in my camera. That's mostly because I can push it to 800, I can push it to 1600 and still be able to get good enough results. And knowing your area allows you to just take certain liberties and just allows you to be free. It allows you to do the things that you need to do in order to get the shot. So get to know an area that you want to go shoot at, know the area and work it. The fifth tip that I have for you is find a camera that works for you. For me, I have here my Leica M2, and I'm not saying that you need to get a Leica. I'm just saying that you need to get a camera that works for you. Before I got this Leica, I tried so many different cameras. I used the Canon AE1. I used so many different rangefinders. I used a digital camera. I used other Leicas even before this one. And this one is just the one that has stuck with me. Having the Voigtlander 35, having this Leica M2, having this mechanical camera with me, it's like an extension of my arm. I don't even need to put it to my eye most of the time, because number one, I know what the image is going to look like because I've shot with it so much. Number two, I know how to tilt it, move it around, what aperture it needs to be at in order to get a good shot. I know this camera is literally a part of me. I know when something's off with it. I know when it's not loaded properly. I know how to load it so quick that I don't miss any shots. I know this camera is me. I am this camera, right? And that's what I mean, get to know your camera. No matter what camera you have, no matter what camera that you're using, find the one that works for you and stick to it. It could be an SLR, it could be a film camera, it could be a digital camera, it could be whatever you need it to be. Just find the one that works for you and stick with it. Now, those are just some of the tips that I have for you, and these are not all the tips. These are just the ones that I can fit into this video right now. I'm probably going to make another video down the line talking about some more tips when it comes to street photography, but these are some of the most important ones that have helped me to be out there shooting every single day. Let me know in the comment section down below if you have any tips for anyone, or if you have any questions about street photography. Let me know in the comment section down below. Until next time, make sure you stay safe, make sure you continue shooting, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.